We are here at the Arner residence, also the home of Western Maine Law, LLC, and Steve Arner is with us. How are you, Steve?
Good. How you doing?
I'm living the dream. And we wanted to talk to you about a couple of different things, your services, but let's talk a little bit about school, because you know a lot about school. You're a pretty smart guy with that. And you're doing a lot of work. Give us an update of what's going on in the school system locally.
Yeah, so I'm chair of the Carrabassett School Committee. Right now, well, probably by the time you see this, we'll have already had the school budget meeting, but that's what's going on right now. We'll have the town school budget meeting coming up. We've started an educational forum. We've tried to get the community involved and get together, and we've had a couple of meetings, and we're going to do that again in the fall. We're trying to make sure we can provide the best education for the kids here that we can, and we're concerned a little bit with some things that are going on in SAD 58, which is the Maine School Administrative District 58, which is where we send, one of the places we send kids to school, and in primarily Kingfield for right now elementary and middle school, and Mount Abram for high school.
Yep.
SAD 58 is changing the structure next year, so all of the middle school students will be going to Strong, and elementary school will still be at Kingfield and Phillips and Strong. We also, no, I guess they won't. Strong will have to send their kids to Kingfield and Phillips, right? So we're a little concerned about that as well, just because the distances involved for our middle school kids and what that's going to mean for middle school sports.
It's a whole new different way of thinking about school.
Yeah, and we also tuition kids to CVA. A lot of kids do that. We don't pay the full tuition or anything, don't worry. And then we also tuition a lot of kids to Stratton, which is actually a little bit closer. And so far, most of the families we've heard from, at least with younger kids going to SAD 58 from Carrabassett, are electing to switch and go to Stratton from now on. They'd still end up probably going back to Mount Abram as a high school, but that's what we're dealing with right now, one of the things. So we really want to just kind of be looking forward and trying to engage the community in coming up with some ideas, like how do we want education around here to look. And it's not going to just be Carrabassett. It's going to have to be a discussion with
What have the forums been telling you?
What do you...
the forum that you've established with input.
Oh. I mean, there have been different concerns raised. The very first comment we got at the last one was, build a school. And I mean, that's maybe at some point that becomes right. An option or a necessity even. I mean, if Mount Abram, I hope it doesn't, and we've set aside additional funds that can be used to kind of help the other schools. We're trying to, prop them up as much as we can and help and be a good neighbor. But if in the future at some point Mount Abram were to fail, there aren't great options for the kids in Carrabassett. And I don't mean that the schools are bad. I just mean Mount Blue is in Farmington. That's really far, and Rangeley for a lot of our kids is pretty far too. And driving down Moose Alley all year, that might be a challenge.
So it's a good thing people understand a little bit about it. If you have kids, perhaps you just moved here and you don't understand it. More information is great.
Yes, for sure. And people have raised all sorts of ideas and concerns about trying to leverage some of the resources we have around here, trying to reinvigorate after school programming and things like that, trying to really take advantage of the nature we have around us and that sort of thing, and use that as tools for education as well. So really, we're interested in anything anyone has to say about education. We just want people to be aware of what's going on and try and start really, being engaged about it.
Share ideas and inspirations as well.
Right.
Well, we appreciate bringing us up to date. It is a kind of a difficult trail to blaze, but we appreciate all the hard work you put into it, you and the rest of the team.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it. And our superintendent, Dr. Campbell, she's available too if people want to raise questions or issues with her, and they can find that stuff. We've got a Facebook group, or page, I should say, and also on the town website, there's links to the school committee and their leaders and
Perfect.
Our forums and meetings, and all of that's open to the public, so everybody's welcome.
More information available. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.